Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Mondo Market TV, Sparkle Your Creativity Show, where you really take some time just to get inspired, because why not? Then you can create a lot more. Mondo Market TV is a home shopping network for artists, and we come with demos and tutorials every week for you, so you can get inspired and maybe incorporate that in your toolbox of ideas to create, right? But before we get started, and we have a very cool show today, I want to remind you that you can share this, and you actually help us a lot every time you do. But even if you don't want to share, you can like, you can give hearts, you can comment, you can write a review later, right? We're trying really to have something extremely unique in the US that is a home shopping network dedicated to artists, right? And what they can create out of that. Artists, crafters, makers, you're all welcome, welcome, welcome here. But to get the word out, we do rely on you, right? So do that. And when you do this at the beginning of the show, when we are live, it actually helps a lot, because places, for example, like Facebook, they are monitoring that to make the decision if that video is going to show well on people's feed or not. So your help is really appreciated, because we can come live, but we cannot do that for you, right? You can share this on your profile, on your page as well. It's good information. Everybody can benefit from that. Okay? So today, what we are going to be talking about is sculpting with textiles, and a very cool line of products that are related to that. They're really open a whole new ball game for artists and sculptors, right? And with me, I have Beverly here.
Super excited about it.
Oh yeah! After I discovered this, I kept thinking, my gosh, things we can create now that we couldn't before.
And I've watched you do these and your ideas, your crafting moments, and I'm like, oh my God, and I didn't even think about that. So I love it.
So Beverly Oliver is here with me. She came to Utah from Alberta, right? Or Edmonton,
yes. Alberta. So
to give a class here about this topic, and it's actually the second class that you're giving here. You did about 4 months ago another one.
Yeah.
So today what we decided to do was really go over the products and what they do, because it's blow your mind. That's what they're going to do. So first, Bev, I'm going to show them some of your pieces, and then we are going to explain why this is so fascinating, right? Okay. Can we start with the fact that they are garden pieces?
We absolutely can, because that is really one of the challenges that I have when I show people my art, is that it can be in the garden. Mm-hmm. What? I have people coming to art walks looking for art for their bedroom, their bathroom, for that little nook, the spare room. They never come looking for garden art. So it's been a huge challenge for me to get them to grow what they're looking for. So yes, the fact that this is on Facebook again, I love it.
You love it, right? And I want to remind you guys that your questions and comments are super welcome. So wherever you are watching, you have a chat box or a comment box, you know, either around the video, below the video.
Push the button.
Yeah, so
push the button.
You know, do ask questions, because I know a lot of you are not familiar with this type of sculpturing, right? Yeah. Now, we mentioned it's gardening, right? You can go outside. Here's the cool fact. You can go outside in Arizona, and you can go outside in Canada winter.
And
right?
The thing is, the Canadian winters are as varied as the American winters
are. Like 300.
Yeah, because we have the really hot, rainy, the rainy fall season. We've got the really hot climates. We've got the cold climates. We've got a mix of everything. Uh-huh. So it's fabulous. It's
fabulous. Now, so once you use this piece, and Penny is here, and she said, what a wonderful class today. Because, yes, Beverly is really breaking the U.S. market with a certification for Powerfall, right?
Yeah,
we've been
trying.
Well, yeah, we're doing, girl.
We got some brave pioneers coming along on the journey with us, so
and
that's
Penny's
been super exciting.
So the cool part is this: you work with this piece or any of the pieces, and you can put that outside. And what I think is also extremely exciting is that I can actually use textiles in the process, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, this girl here, we're not going to move her because, she's still drying, right?
No, she's dry. She's ready
dry?
Yeah,
but I don't want to touch
if you want to.
But it has a crochet doily, right here.
Upcycling, recycling.
That you repurpose that, right? And what is the fabric? It's
It was a tablecloth that
Tablecloth.
my husband and I have been, we're going to be married now 44 years this summer. And that was a wedding gift for us. It's made out of linen. I love the color of it. I love the texture. In preparing for the class, I kind of needed to get everything organized. And I wanted something that would work really well. And I'm like, that tablecloth has not been on the table for
a very long
years,
time.
for years. But I love
how it turned out.
how that turned
you
out.
guys, yeah, let's look at this in a close-up. Look how cool this piece is. It's unbelievable because really tablecloth that you had for 40 years.
Yep.
Right? And crochet doily.
Yep.
Now when we go into this one was actually a piece that you did in class for the beginner's class. What have you used here?
So in that one, we have such exotic things like an old T-shirt, some tissue paper, some
a pin loom that I did on a pin loom weaving.
Yeah, and that was a very last-minute decision.
Yes,
It's like Shahar showed me it, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Oh, and there's a 4x4 block, and then there's a brooch there that someone was no longer wearing, was kind enough to gift to me to use in my products type of stuff. So it's repurposing a lot of items that just haven't had a chance to be used for a while.
Really, this is the moment that the mind goes, right? Because think about this. T-shirts. From T-shirts, you come and you create a piece of art.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Now, is it because you're super talented and only you can do this, or anybody can do it? For real? No, be real
seriously,
to
no,
us.
seriously not. The tagline with Powerfall is, if you look at their website, everybody can be an artist. And I think that that's what I love the most, is that everybody truly can be an artist. When I started with this medium at a serious level 3 years ago, I did not consider myself an artist. I was just somebody that liked crafts.
Yeah.
And as it's turned out,
It's a whole new thing.
I am an artist.
You're right? A very busy one.
A very busy one, and I think if selling pieces qualifies you as an artist, I am an artist.
Qualifies you as an artist and as a professional at the same
Exactly,
time, right?
yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, of course, this is a different way of sculpting. It's a very unique way, and therefore people go crazy about these pieces, right?
Yeah.
They sell really well. Give us an example of a basic piece, how much they can be sold. And of course, it varies depending on the place.
Yeah,
But
it varies, number one, in who the artist is that's created it, how much time, effort, how duplicatable it is. Some pieces, the basics will go for $150, $200, all the way up to, I've sold a six-figure item lately. So.
how much have you spent making this? Calculating.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just, maybe about $30, $35.
30, 35 can be sold for $250 easily.
Yeah.
Right? So see, and he can even be more, right?
Yeah.
But you see the potential of this. So what makes this possible is really the type of products used here, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Beverly today, she's going to give you an overview of the line because like I said, not everybody knows about this, especially here in the US. It's quite a new it's not new, but it's new everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think that's
You have
what's-
been dealing with this for 3 years?
I've been with it for 3 years. It's been in the Canadian market for over 10. So that's the really cool thing, is the product has been around long enough that all of the bugs and kinks have been taken out of it. And they're starting to expand, some with new products as well too. But any of the issues that typical new product launches have all been resolved.
Yes, which is great
So we're
too.
in that really great sweet spot that all that stability is there, but we don't have, there's absolutely no saturation happening with this product line at all.
Yes, and
So-
here in the US even less, right? Because again, not out there yet.
Exactly.
So let's start, of course, with the basic one that is the Powerfall.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Tell you about it. So this is a water-based, and it is a water-based glue is about the best way to describe it. It's non-toxic, environmentally friendly, and it comes in many colors.
How many colors do you know? So this
There's
one is
five.
the
There's five
gray.
altogether. Yeah. So we have the gray. We've got the bronze that's in that piece over there.
It's a gray color.
Yeah. We have a black that I really like. We have a transparent that gets used a lot when we've got really beautiful colored fabrics. And then we have the skin tone as well too.
So the transparent, for example, you have used on this last piece
Yep.
to preserve the design of the fabric in itself, right?
Exactly,
So
yeah.
it's a great way, and it can also go outside.
Yes, yeah, it's not, the transparent is not as UV protected as the colored ones are. So if I've got a really beautiful fabric on that, I may land up spraying it, either keeping it in the shade, keeping it indoors, keeping it in the shade, or spraying it with a non-yellowing UV protectant outdoor varnish, and just give it a quick spray and it'll be fine. I have pieces that I have done that were out of a colorful cotton gingham 3 or 4 years ago already, and the integrity of the pieces are wonderful. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the pieces, they've just faded, okay? Because I didn't spray them, so.
Right.
And
Now, for textile artists, one thing that is important to understand is to put as an outside piece, it's better if it's natural fiber, correct?
absolutely, a natural fiber. So your cottons, your linens, your silks, your wools, paper, leather, all of that. Anything that's natural. And the difference is if it's a synthetic, it's almost like a plastic, so things can't be absorbed in. And once it's not absorbed in, then there might be an area where some water can get in, or some, the freeze and thaw cycle, and eventually it's going to land up breaking it down. So if it is going outside, be sure that you're using 100% natural fibers.
Okay, I'm looking to see if we have some Powerfall to show them, because this is closed. It comes in a liquid format.
Yep.
How messy is it?
Oops.
Wow. Well, let me tell you one thing. It is really not messy. The thing is, she's making, besides giving 3-day classes in the last few days and now giving a certification, she's making a heron that is higher than I am.
Yeah.
Right? So she's...
And I've got it in my hair.
Yeah, by now you have everywhere, but usually you only have some dirt in your hands,
Yeah,
right?
it's just-
Which peels off really.
Exactly. It's very much like, when you were a kid in school and you had that white glue and you would literally put it on your hands and then you'd have so much fun peeling it off. It's very
Yes.
therapeutic. Okay?
I feel guilty when I have to go wash my hands with Powerfall. I actually like to spend the time.
Spend the time
I
peeling
do.
it off. Yeah, it is. It's very therapeutic. And you do need to protect the areas where you're working with some plastic drop cloths and stuff and,
Yes.
and that.
Yeah,
But-
and that's what we are going to talk next about, how you work with this. I just want to say, Liz, our BTH saying hi. Elaine Tucker, hello. Bree, hi Bree, we missed you today. I thought you were going to be with our group. Wow, congrats on the 44 years.
Thank you.
Wilma saying hello. And okay, so I want you mentioned, okay, it's like glue. It's not only that, of course, but
Yeah.
it doesn't glue or stick to one thing, right?
Plastic. It doesn't stick to plastic. So anytime I'm working on something and I want it not to stick to that, I will end up using plastic. So as an example, Jolene over there, you'll notice that
Jolene,
Jolene,
don't take my man if you can.
Let's get back here.
So the hair, right?
The hair, yeah. So what I did in our intermediate class yesterday was show them how to get those curls in the hair. And so what we landed up doing was wrapping it around a plastic straw.
Yep.
And because it doesn't stick to plastic,
can
I was
come
able
out.
to pull
And
right
look
out.
at this hairdo here.
Yeah.
She means serious business.
She's ready to strut the red carpet.
So you see, you can work with fibers for the hair. You can get very creative in that arena as well, right? Okay, so it doesn't stick to plastic. Can go outside. If it's the transparent, is a good idea to add a varnish, spray varnish on top. Anything, any downside of this? No.
No, there isn't. Other than the fact that your head is constantly buzzing with all of the ideas.
that you
'Cause
can.
eventually what happens is you start one thing and then be like, oh, and I can't, oh, And I could. Oh, there is a downside.
Oh, tell me. I want to know.
My
All
husband-
secrets.
Yeah, my husband's quite annoyed with me because I've been spending years getting rid of all kinds of stuff out of my house and downsizing and decluttering, and I'm now collecting more
Stuff
things.
again.
Things that people are getting rid of. I'm like, oh,
I can
could
use
that.
this. Yeah.
So that is a possible downside.
And there is that side that we like to mention of it empowers you to create memories as well. We were talking about the doilies during the class and the fact that you may have a grandma that did one or somebody in your family or a friend, and you really don't have a use anymore for those. There was a time that they were in every single table you could think of, right? With a vase or something.
And at the art walks, I talk to women, and every single one of them either has a stack that they have not disposed of yet, or they just got rid of them, and they're like, darn.
Yes.
Darn.
Because you can give a new meaning with something that has an emotional value for you. Because after all, it was somebody you knew, somebody you loved, and you can use those pieces together.
Could you imagine that piece being a graduation
gosh.
gift for someone?
Oh my
or
gosh.
a wedding gift, a shower gift? Because it's our, 44 years. That piece has been in our family for 44 years, and now I'm passing that on to a new bride. And so that kind of story, when you can attach that kind of story.
I got goosebumps. Well, think about this.
But that's
44 years married. In today's age, that's a very long time.
It's an
right?
accomplishment.
And if you give this to a daughter, somebody that you love that is getting married, what you're saying is really, I hope my happiness goes to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
amazing.
no.
Okay, if you guys have any questions about this product, let me know. Sandy's saying it's a Bev kind of week. And we are still standing. We're still standing.
She's running me ragged here.
We're still, I don't know how, but we're still standing.
Chase even says to me, aren't you going to rest?
Right? Because do you think she stopped working for a second since we finished the certification today? No, doesn't happen.
I got fed, but that was it, right?
Okay, what do we have here? Here we have the art stone. Tell me about it.
Okay, so art stone, and this is my bucket, and I can
Open
it
Let's
here.
show.
Okay, so that's the thing is you can go online and read about all the stuff, but I'm gonna show you what it looks like, and it's like I believe that it's ground up paper. It's like a cellulose fiber.
Yes, it looks like a little bit like paper.
Yeah. It looks like that insulation that they blow into the walls, basically. Yeah. Okay. And so there's a lot of things that you can land up doing with this art stone. And so one of the things that I landed up creating just most recently is Aries.
This beautiful lady
Yes.
here.
So her dress has been created out of a clay that I created mixing this and these two products together. Okay. And if you've ever been on any of my website pages, you're going to notice my tipsy ladies always have the little wine glasses. You can never buy those anywhere.
No, it's too
so I
small.
make them. So and
you make mixing the both of them.
Yeah, to the state where it's a clay. Okay. So what this art stone does is it gives a stone finish to things, but it also creates more body for the Powerfall, and it really does give you a really great clay. So if you just touch her dress on there, it's solid.
Totally solid.
It is solid. It's a hard clay that it's a moldable clay that you can totally work with.
This is another thing, right? You can do because I like the fact that you can use an armature, put some t-shirts and have a piece of art, but you can also go a little bit more detail in the sculpting part and then wrap if you want, or not.
Exactly, yeah.
You actually mentioned to us an artist that you admire a lot that works with small pieces.
Yeah. She's in some of the Ilya Kovacs is her name, and she does little figurines like this, and she lands up working a lot with the clay.
I took a look yesterday, and it's really amazing.
Are they amazing?
Yeah, they are.
She's got outstanding work. I look at her things, and I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
It's just they take your breath away.
Now, can this go outside?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely, yeah, because it's the art stone, and so you're going to notice too. I don't know if you can catch this picture on there. It looks like a statue.
Let me show this here a little bit. Let's see if we can show that.
Get it better there.
There you go.
There, yeah.
Here.
So it's like a garden statue, and it looks like it's made out of stone, a stone head. And so that is one of the products that we would land up using to create that look as well,
That's
too.
great.
It's a little bit of a different technique than doing the clay, but it's definitely
do
a
it.
technique that
I want
can
to
be
try
done.
this because I think it opens also a whole new ball game here.
All kinds of possibilities. The only thing is if you're using the art stone and if you haven't sealed it on with a couple of layers of the Josephine varnish, then it can't go outside. But if you've sealed it, it can go outside
That's cool.
as well too.
Penny is saying, I think they had some wine for lunch. Nope, water.
That we wish, right? So that's the art stone. And
Okay.
it comes in just that clear color, but then we do have...
And they have big buckets, small
And they
buckets.
have the big buckets and then the size bucket as well too.
Okay.
Do we have any of the powder color on the
Yes,
table
we do.
here?
I'm going to
'Cause-
get.
Yeah.
I want to say some of these products are available at mondomarkettv.com. Mondomarkettv.com is actually the best place to watch this, but also to shop for Powerfall products. So you're meaning the highlights, right?
Yeah, well, these are the highlights, so
Okay.
they're the metallics.
Okay.
But we also have in these containers a powdered color, okay? And so the thing about the powdered color is we could land up adding it in to the art stone
Okay.
to dye it and create some custom colors because it's powder in
Is
powder.
this what you did here?
And that's exactly what we did there.
Oh, so you added a base color and you do have some highlights as well.
Yeah, so there's
Okay.
some reds in there. So I basically added reds and oranges, or red and yellow, into the art stone, so into this. And then I created the clay, and then I did highlight it with a metallic highlighter on that and sealed it up with the Josephine's varnish.
Was it a labor-intensive process?
No,
or
not at all.
Not at all?
No, quite honestly, the dressing part is my favorite part of doing these.
And that's what
if someone
you-
could come
you
and just
go.
build all the bodies for me, I would dress them all day long.
So you use this type here that is metallic for highlights, like you have in all of your dolls.
Yeah.
Or the colored ones, well, of course you can use also here, right? But
Exactly.
you can mix.
You can
with that.
mix it
Can
in-
you also mix with the Powerfall?
Yes, well, you can mix the colors into the transparent and create your own custom color.
Woohoo.
So more ideas, right? So if
Right.
you wanted a red, Powerfall, and we don't have red Powerfall, you could take our red Power color and add
Mix
it
with
into the
transparent.
transparent and create a red Powerfall.
And would that be a red or just a hint of red?
As deep as you put it. So
As-
basically,
really?
the more powder you add into it, the more it would be. And red's probably a really bad color to talk about because that one really fades quickly in the
Yes,
sun.
well, yeah, I know.
Yeah. Type of stuff. But if you wanted a blue Powerfall or a green, you can totally do that.
Stay. Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
What is this? Let's see.
Oh.
This is the Powerplast.
That's another one of my favorite products. I really like this product because this allows us to thicken up the Powerfall.
Oh, and why would I want
Want
that?
to do that? Well, you're going to notice on this girl that we just have, she's made with the t-shirt. She's kind of got a rough finish on her. She only has one boob, okay?
What?
She's only got one boob. She
Yeah,
has
right,
no
just one thing.
cleavage.
Yeah,
she has
yeah.
no cleavage happening. But my other girls have cleavage because I've got this different finish on it.
That we are going to talk
That-
about in a second, yes.
And so basically what we were able to do is we still built the same armature of what's happening there, but what we landed up doing now is taking the Powerfall and wrappers, which is, we're going to talk about that in just a minute. And then what I did is I thickened up the Powerfall with the Powerplast and painted that on to create that really nice smooth finish. So what I love about this is it allows me to give some fabulous details into the work that we're doing. So we can have better muscle tone, we can have cleavage. If you were so inclined as to sculpt the face out of the clay, you could totally protect all of that.
With that.
With that, yeah.
So when I use this always in conjunction with the Powerball, or is there
With the Powerplast,
a
yeah.
moment that I?
Yeah, no, I haven't. Somebody may have figured out something that they can do
But
with
it's
it.
usually
It's usually with the
together.
Powerfall. Yeah.
And I can get a lot thicker than that if I want to create
Yeah,
texture, for
exactly,
example.
yeah. And so sometimes what I'll do too in making my birds, what I'll do is I'll put the Powerfall and the Powerplast together and I make it quite a bit thicker than what I'm doing on there. And then when I've painted it on, I'll brush it. So I've got the texture of the feathers, you know. So
okay.
you can totally create some texture in there. And because
Feathers
it's thicker,
for...
yeah, because it's thicker, it's going to stay. So you can have a little bit more 3D. It doesn't need to be smooth. It can be 3D.
Okay.
But if you're doing it 3D, you need to make it thicker.
That's fantastic. I like that.
See, even you're learning some stuff today, aren't you?
That's what I've been doing the last 3 or 4 days, learning. But that's the fun part about this. How can you get out of your comfort zone and try new things if you don't know about them?
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And how to use and the combination in that. Okay, so before we go there, can I get this? I want to show people how the Powerfall looks
cool.
inside. Okay. And here we go. We have an open container here, and this is the gray as well, right? I think here we have
Over here is better? Okay.
overhead shot.
Yeah. So it really is like a liquid glue. All right. So as you can see, and this is the gray, and I'll just peel some of this off. So it just does land up being just like, it looks like chunks
Well, we
of
can
plastic.
do this. We can put the finger.
Oh yeah. Well, now
Right?
you're going to have dirty fingers. Go ahead.
I'm going to peel that off. So you see the consistency is what? A little less than, it's watery, it's less
Yeah.
than the pancake batter.
Yeah, it's not. It's a little bit thinner than that white glue. That white high school glue. That,
Yes,
school
that's a
glue
lot
that you
thicker,
land
yes.
up use. Yeah.
And how long does it take to dry then? If you make a piece of this?
That's probably the really awesome thing about this product is it stays soft for quite a long time. So it doesn't. It takes probably about 5 or 6 hours before it's starting to harden.
Okay.
But even once it's hardened, let's just say you landed up making a piece and you're not happy with how it looks. You look at it tomorrow and you're like, what was I thinking? You can take the blow dryer, heat it up, soften it up, and switch it around and change
Yes,
things.
and you know, what other types of mediums you can use that you can do that?
Yeah.
With some sculptors do use a specific type of wax that every time you heat, you can rework. But
Right.
it's a lot of work, let me tell
Yeah.
you. And here it's not. You're
No.
talking about putting some
No.
hot air here and repositioning
as an
something that
example,
you're not happy.
I was working on the heron earlier,
Right.
right? And I was hurrying because the sandwiches were here.
We had to eat at
We
some
had to
point.
eat at the stop,
Yeah.
right? And so I quickly wrapped it up, and then I came back, and I had missed the spot. So I had to undo it to to
Oh.
rewrap the head part.
Okay.
Not a
Not a big
problem
deal.
at all.
Yeah.
None at all.
Sandy is asking, since the transparent, let me smile for the picture. There you
Is
go.
my necklace straight? Oh, it's not. Come on.
Oh, another picture.
Another one.
Sandy's asking, since the transparent does not have UV protection, a UV varnish is needed in going outside, correct?
Correct, yes. And actually, I was doing a bit of research just to make sure all my information was correct in all of this. And in reading in the big book from Powerfall, the Josephine varnish is actually UV protected as well too. So
You could use
you could
that.
do 2 coats of that as well too. So you could land up painting it with 2 coats of the Josephine's varnish.
And they come, Josephine varnish only comes in this size, correct?
No, bigger size too.
So
yeah,
then
it's
all
on
your
my table
problems
over
are
there.
solved. Woo! So let's talk about this.
I love this product because what this product does is it allows me to take a powder like this and turn it into a paint. Okay, and so I can highlight, I can just touch edges of things and highlight products, or I can actually do the whole dry brush painting, or you can actually paint something by taking a powdered pigment,
Just mixing a
and
little bit.
mixing it into the varnish.
This one I think is actually
Mine is open. Mine's open, Shahar.
Yeah, but it's out there.
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay.
maybe somebody will be kind. Maybe the little fairies will get
We'll come here. Yeah, no,
type
but
of stuff. But it's like a white watery
doesn't
liquid.
have a strong smell either.
Nothing at all. No,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, have you noticed any smell at all from anything? I haven't, but I don't know if it's because I'm so used to it. But I am not noticing any fragrance at all.
When the little fairy comes bringing the varnish, can the little fairy bring a brush as well?
Brush.
Where's the varnish?
There should be a brush right there. Yep.
Yeah,
And
because
the,
this
and
one
the
is not
varnish
going
is
to
right in front of by the Power wrappers.
And
there.
why we see that? See, so I just, like a minute ago, right? I put my finger in there and it's already dry.
Yeah.
And I only have a little, but I can already peel and done. So when you think about mass, it's not messy at all, actually.
No, no.
It's pretty
yeah.
easy. Okay, so you have the varnish there.
I've got the varnish here.
Let's do a experiment.
What kind of experiment do you want?
How you turn that into paint?
Oh,
Or what else? What do you want to do?
Well, I need something to put it on. Give me that plastic, that.
This one?
Yeah, I'll just.
What
I'll
is
work on-
this?
Oh, so this is the Paver cotton. And so, and as you can tell, this is a bag that I've been using for a while. And
That's the idea. You get products you have to
Yeah,
use.
exactly. And it's got some Paver pull all over it type of stuff. But I'm just going to use this as a little bucket.
Sampler.
And this has been open as well too? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So anyway, so all I do, like seriously, all I do is I take a dip, and seriously that much. This is even probably enough to highlight a piece. And I turn it around.
And remember, she's on plastic because it's not going. Well, that doesn't stick either, or does it?
No, this will
This
actually
one will
stick to
just
plastic
varnish.
a little bit better. But here we go. Here's a
Here's
paint,
the paint.
that we can land up. Oh, bring me Jolene here. We'll highlight her.
Jolene.
We'll give
oh my
Jolene
gosh,
a
I
little
don't
bit
want
more.
Jolene, Jolene.
And see, this is the big size of the
Jolene.
varnish as well,
Do,
too.
come here, do it here, so
Okay,
they
perfect.
can see.
Awesome, good. So basically, and we're just going to, it's just, and
Yeah, well,
I
look at the difference already.
really like to touch the hard edges and give them a good, sharp, crisp edge. When we're working with this product, we work really hard to create all of these beautiful folds. And so,
You want to
see,
highlight
you
them.
got a little bit more work out of me today. and
Touching
see,
Jolene.
see how that's just, it's just accenting what we've got
Yeah, but
happening there.
look what happens, right?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And it's when the things are highlighted is when they really start to pop. And personally, I really love highlighting. Look at how much easier this is to highlight when it's dry for a couple of reasons. Number one is it's dry. Oh, we have to do this. We have to
Tell me.
show them. We have to show them the back.
Oh, the back of, yes,
The
especially
back of
because it's the
Jolene as well,
doily.
too, because she's so pretty. She is so pretty. So anyway, so that is the varnish.
Look
and
at that.
is
Look
the
at that as a
highlighter.
close-up.
Yeah. Isn't she stunning?
So it was right, 30 seconds working here, and you already,
Yeah, just made it pop just a little bit more. And I'm a real stickler for not wasting any products. So we had that mixed up. I had to use it.
right? We found Jolene. I love, let's show this base again, with just what you did now with the silver. And look what we have here. I mean, it starts telling a different story.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic. And so this is the silver.
Yep.
We don't want to drop any of them.
Right.
This is the silver. There are metallic colors and how many other colors? So silver, gold, copper.
Silver, yeah, silver, gold, copper, antique, bronze, and bronze.
Nice. That's a good variety.
It's a good variety. And then we have the mother of pearl as well, too.
That you use, remind me when you use
When
that.
I use the skin tone, because our skin tone is really quite pinky. It's almost like baby pink, you know,
Okay.
type of stuff. So it's not a great color to land up to have natural looking flush tones.
Okay.
So what I'll end up doing is highlighting with the mother of pearl on top, and that just softens it
Softens
up
everything.
and makes it look way better.
So do you mix in the Powerfall or you do after it's dry?
I with the varnish after. And
Okay.
just highlight.
Penny is asking, talk about waiting time to go outside in the garden, please. Good question.
Good question. So once the piece has been completed, give it 2 weeks of drying time.
Okay.
Give it 2 weeks of drying time before, if you are going to apply that outside varnish, wait 2 weeks. Let this piece be totally dry before you apply.
It takes some
anything
time
else
to
onto it.
cure.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So
yeah.
to put in the garden 2 weeks, but if you're working on this today and you want to keep working, can I do it tomorrow or do I have to wait?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, sometimes I'll even, pieces sometimes will take me 2 or 3 or 4 days to construct.
Okay.
Because of needing to have things to dry in between doing this step and that step, so absolutely.
So it's dry enough to continue working,
Yep.
right? Even though it's not totally cured. Which you have to think with the other options that you have. For example, if I were making something similar with paper clay, the waiting time is a good time, especially if it's not a piece that I can dry a little bit in the oven.
Right.
I have to wait, right?
Yeah.
It's quite wet. Here, you feel that it's dry the next day. It's not dry enough to go outside, but it's dry enough for you to keep working.
You can do some other things. And especially when I'm working with 2 colors, a lot of times I'll end up needing that drying time in between, just so that I'm not transferring the black onto the skin tone and doing
that
things
too,
like that.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing that I want to comment is we had this question coming, and I think it's a great point for people that are thinking, but can I do this? Can I do that? So what happens, for example, if I live in Arizona, summer is over 100 degrees, what happens? Does it last really?
It does last. It does last. You may land up get some bleaching with the sun, especially if you haven't done the UV protectant going on. But the key to the really, really hot weather is to make sure that your structure has a good solid structure.
Why?
Because the fabric may land up softening and droop a little bit. And so if it doesn't have a good structure underneath, it's going to start collapsing type of stuff. But if you've got a good structure holding it up, so even like these girls, I've reinforced the arms. So here, her arms are not going to droop anymore because they've been reinforced with extra, with extra wires in the structure.
And the Powerfall with the Powerplast also to make it thicker, right?
Yeah.
More resistant.
Yeah.
So in the heat, it softens.
Yeah.
So that's why you need some type of good armature.
Yeah.
To keep the pose. And you actually, can we check if we have one of her dragons there? Because you told me a good story about the dragon that you made, which is unbelievable. And that you had a challenge with the wings, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me a little, and we'll figure the picture in a second.
The picture. Okay,
yeah.
So anyway, I had the inspiration to make a dragon, and I wanted it to be big, and it invariably grew way bigger than what I had thought. But its wings were way out like this,
yes.
right? And so while there's nothing on the wires, it's really easy to maintain that structure. But once I put the Powerfall and
there
some
goes.
things
Look
on
at this.
it, yeah.
This is over 4 feet.
Yeah.
Total,
so
right?
once I started putting
the husband keeps nagging that it didn't fit in the car.
Yeah, he's still nagging about that,
I know.
isn't he? So anyway, by the time I started putting all of the things on it, the wings kept coming down and coming down and coming down. I'm like, oh. So I landed up having to reinforce the structure with all of the things that I've learned about working with the Powerfall and the structure now. So I was able to get that structure supported better. And now you can even pull on it and come down, and it's not coming down. So
you know, I think we don't realize many times as artists that we actually become we are artists, mathematicians, engineers, problem solvers, right?
Yep.
And we may not even know that. Say, wow, my grades were not that great when I was in grade school.
No,
but
exactly.
you know, we figured solutions, right?
Exactly.
And it was the case here. It was all fine at the beginning, but as you put some weight into that, you saw, okay, this is not going to last. I need to rework that.
Exactly, yeah. Right? And so I reinforced it once, and then I reinforced it again. So, but it's good now.
Okay. So now we have this.
Okay.
Power wrappers.
So these are the Power wrappers. So this is, instead of using the t-shirt to absorb the Powerfall and to have that on your structure to hold the Powerfall, what we're going to end up doing is using these Power wrappers. And they're a viscose material that has been knit, so they've got a bit of stretch to them. And they're fantastic to, because what I'll do is I will use the Powerfall to, to stick it on, and then I'll wrap it around like you're, doing a cast on someone, and then I'll paint a layer of Powerfall on that, and so the wrappers will absorb that. And then once that's dry, then I can go with the second coat of Powerfall with some Powerplast in it. It's going to be a little bit thicker. It's going to take the texture away of the wrappers and really allow us to get that really lovely smooth finish.
So you can see here on the first piece, this is wrapped with the t-shirt, which is very cool, but you can see that the texture of the t-shirt and the
wrapping,
curls, right? And in this one, you use the wrappers with the second coat, and you have a much smoother
finish.
And of course, it depends on what you're creating. You will go for one or the other.
Yeah.
But you can see it's a great option. And it uses a lot less product as well,
It
right?
does, yes. It uses a lot less product. So when you've got the big project, like that dinosaur,
Yeah.
it helped me kind of save a little bit of product
Yes,
on that.
yes.
So.
So Sandy's saying that Jolene is amazing. I'm saying this should go for an award. We need to take care of that. Sandy, what was used for the wings for the dragon?
Okay, for the wings for the dragon, so again, true story here. So I landed up I have this fabric that is like a cheesecloth, but it's probably about triple the amount of fibers per inch. But it's still it's fairly loosely woven yet, 100% cotton, but I love working with it because it just really lets me give all these really nice drapes to it. And I wanted the wings to be fairly sheer. I knew I had to have them light, right? Because of
the size and everything.
but then what happened is we landed up taking it to the art walk, and then coming home, it must have knocked against something and it was too brittle and they broke. So I'm like, So I landed up having to put another layer of t-shirt behind it just to stabilize it and make them stronger. So some of this is really a process of making things and trial and error, and there's always a solution. So it's that fabric for that texture, and then the t-shirting for the stability behind it.
Okay. Now, so like I told you guys, most of these products you find at mondomarkettv.com is the best place to get supplies for artists, and we are carrying the Powerfall line. This next two we don't have, but they're pretty cool. Let's see.
Yeah, let me talk to you about them, because these give really, I'll put the package out here and I'm going to pull the product out. So this is our Stockinette, and it's in centimeters.
Okay.
I know you guys have a hard time with centimeters, but 80 centimeters by 50. And so what this is it is a cotton knit.
Okay.
That's quite sheer. And tomorrow in
the certification.
Yeah, we're going to work with this tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
So you can already see the possibilities of what's possible with this in creating shawls and creating just some really cool looks with the pieces that we're working with. And because it's 100% cotton, it's going to be safe to be outside. But what happens with this stretch when you dip it into the Powerful, there's really some very intriguing things that go on. I love working with this.
This is kind of a must to have.
Yes, yeah. It's and the thing about doing things with the Powerful is to get that texture, is to either get the texture by the folds in the fabric, or get the texture with some of the things that we're using in the style of fabric that we're working with. So this is the Stockinette. Okay.
That's fantastic. Yeah, because there's a moment for everything. I think one of the big things with working with textiles while you're sculpting is the draping that you can make in a piece.
So even just like look at
the picture here.
Maybe pull it off the plastic and it'll be easier for them to catch them.
Okay, look at this. Like this. And you can see that they have things on their head.
Yeah. So that's all done with the Stockinette. And because
it's
it's
all
stretchy,
done with the stock. Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. So the basic
very
body,
fluid as well.
very fluid, and just the drapiness of what happens with that is so incredible.
Yeah.
So I know people will have they will become artists using this.
Using this.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're gonna put it on.
Because I believe this for fairies.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Fairies, and I've used it on wings as well, too.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of applications for this.
Okay, and this one here?
Ooh, we had some fun with this yesterday. And so my girl there, without any hair in her head yet.
It's not finished.
She's not finished. So that is this. It's
the dress, right?
Yes, the dress. The dress has been done in that, and that was part of the training that we did yesterday, was to show how to work with this and to dye it. So this is called Bamboo Relief, and it's a birchwood fiber. It's actually a birch fiber.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just fibers that have been pressed together, and again, because it's not structured at all, there's really some very interesting things. If you want to have this really cool, well, look at her dress. I mean, look how cool her dress is. And that's from, I dyed this piece of fabric to use.
Did you dye with dye or with the powder?
With the powder colors.
Woohoo!
So that was the bonus class we did yesterday.
Yes.
You're gonna have to watch that one.
I do. But look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, for example, I have a ton of friends that dye. They dye fiber, they dye fabric, and I find it fascinating. But for me, it's too messy.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Well, this was a bit
Now-
messy. It was a bit messy.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
just
watch
ask the
that and
staff
double
here.
check.
Yeah, the staff had to, you know,
We
make
had
sure I had a
people till 3 in
towel.
the morning cleaning the place.
Oh, no, not quite that bad. I was trying to be careful. But again, just really allows some really cool textures and some. The thing about using some of these products as well too is you cannot force it to do what you want it to do. Sometimes it just has a mind of its own and creates its own thing. But it's in that the magic happens. And I think if you can just kind of let go of the expectations of what it's going to look like and allow these things to do what they can do, I think you'll be very, very pleased.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Now, Beverly, of course, people can always watch your pieces. You're very popular on Facebook. They can follow you. Of course, you can take a course on Curious Mondo.
I'm still missing something.
We're still missing a product. Yes.
Yes.
No, that's a Powerplast.
Yeah, where did
What
it
are we
go?
missing? We are missing something. What?
So the fairies.
fairy.
We need the fairies. I should have checked on what my husband did here. Darn, that
So
serves
what
me
do we
right.
need?
There's a product called Powerfall.
Oh.
You probably don't even know
We
about
need the
this one
fairy.
yet. Yeah.
Let me say here.
'cause we're hooked
We
up.
need a fairy.
So this Power Sand is really cool because it's an actual sand.
Here, now.
Here.
Now. I tell you what happens. You know, this is with any type of broadcast, that there is always a delay.
Yep.
Right? And it's kind of 1 minute. So if they're watching, so what do we want?
There's a bucket there with a yellow label on it, some black powder. That should be it right there. Perfect.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Chase.
Don't tell the name of the fairy.
Oh, oops. All right.
Okay,
There,
tell
I'll
me
tuck
about
this
it.
in.
Let me
Okay.
show the label first.
Yeah. So this is the Power Sand, and I actually like using this one quite a bit as well too, because what we do is we add this into the Powerfall.
Oh, so that's another one that I'm going to use in conjunction with the Powerfall.
Yes.
Any color of Powerfall?
Any color, absolutely. Yeah.
And this
and,
one always comes in this color?
Well, it comes in black, and the black is quite coarse.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to see it's got, and it's literally a sand.
Wow, it does look like sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the white, there's a white as well
Oh,
too.
I could totally put my feet right now and
Yeah.
just imagine I
And,
was by
and,
the
and the
sea.
white is finer, but what happens when you put that in the Powerfall is you can now have some texture, some like stony, marbly.
Uh-huh. Do you use
Granite.
that a lot? I
I-
see
yeah,
your...
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so it's been used a lot actually. And again, on the birds, on pieces that you want to make like stone, this really, really works very, very well. So it's another product that if you have a chance to play with it, I highly recommend it.
I think one of the things that any textile artist, for example, likes a fiber artist as well, is texture.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you go to a fabric store, a yarn store, it's the kind of thing that it's going to be very sad if all that transitions to online, because part of it is touching.
Oh.
Right? I have an uncle that when I was really, really young, I worked for him, and he had a store. And he took me through the store and to the shop where they had seamstresses working, and he said, there is one secret about buying fabric. You have to touch. If you learn to read the fabric, you will know what to buy and what not to buy. And he was a very successful businessman. And I love doing that.
Oh,
I actually would go to the inventory place, like maybe I was 16, 17,
Yeah.
and I would go.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love doing
been,
that.
I have been in elevators with strangers. And
Oh, you don't do that?
I do.
You do?
But I ask permission first.
Oh
I
my
ask,
God.
Yeah, I'm like, they'll be on there with this amazing coat. And I'm like, oh my God, that coat is so amazing. I just need to touch it.
Can I touch it?
Can I touch your coat? Exactly. And they just laugh because they know. Because that's why they bought
yeah,
the coat.
yeah, yeah.
It's because
It was the same sensation.
How wonderful that feels. And I'm like, I used to be a seamstress in a past life. So then it's like,
Yeah.
it's all is forgiven, you
Yeah.
know, type of stuff.
So we love that, right? We
yeah.
love, and of course we love the design, but then when you create, incorporate different textures,
Yeah.
you want to. period.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And there's a place for this type of texture, there's a place for this type of texture, for the bamboo fiber one, right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you're creating, you want something
Absolutely.
different.
And with this combination of things, the possibilities really are unlimited. People come and will look at some of the books, some of the picture books that I have. They'll see some of the pieces that I've done, and you can literally see their heads spinning.
Yes.
They're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
So it's so fun, so fun.
So Sandy's saying, Bev and Powerfall will bring out the artist within that you didn't even know you had.
Mission accomplished.
I have to tell, it's a joke and it's a little off topic, but it's so fun. It's so cool. Because yesterday somebody called to purchase the course, the certification and stuff. So she was with Nash on the phone. And then she said, oh my gosh, Nash, you're going to make me live in a card box. And then Nash, she didn't miss a beat. She went, yeah, but you already know how to make it look pretty. So,
and weatherproof
right?
it as well too, because you can put the Powerfall
Right?
on it. It's paper.
You're not going to be wet.
Just need 2 weeks to cure.
Yeah, I thought that was so fun. It came out like in a...
That's why she's so good at what
I
she
know.
does.
But it is, yeah, sometimes. And that's a very good point, Sandy, because sometimes you are not, I know Sandy's familiar, but a lot of people that are watching, they're not familiar with this. It's the very first introduction. And you have a lot of questions. And one of them is, can I deal with this?
Yep.
Right? And you can see, like she said, anybody can create a piece like this. And it's not complicated as you might think.
No.
It looks astonishing, but the process is actually quite cool,
Yeah,
right?
and that's the one thing that we've really created within the Powerfall system. If you have a certified instructor who has been taught properly, they will step you through the process step by step, because we do have a system. We have a system, and the system works. So.
Yes, exactly, and you have to learn that. And wherever you are, there might be some certifying structure around.
Exactly.
Right?
Google search, Google it.
Curious Mondo is also around, you know
Exactly,
that.
yeah.
Now, Beverly, we explain the product, right? We show what you create. And the amazing dragon, because that dragon is unbelievable. And she has a student that made a polar bear that is to die for.
You're still about that polar bear.
No, really. I went and I bought a whole stack of massage
Massage
in
towels,
brown, because
yeah.
I want to make a grizzly bear, because
Yeah.
I'm crazy about them. Yeah, I think it's fabulous. I mean, just to think that was her second or third piece.
Yeah, well, it's Sabina Bonifazi, and she is an accomplished artist.
Right.
She had taken a beginner class with me, actually 2 beginner classes, and she ventured off, but she had done some sculpting already, and she did it. She was having an art exhibition, and this was part of her art exhibition, and we were just all blown away. It was so fun to watch the people come up.
Third piece in an exhibition.
Yeah, so she did the transparent in an old massage towel, and
It looks real.
She even has the hairs on the massage towel going in the right direction. People were coming up to it to touch it, expecting it to be soft, but it wasn't. It was a hard structure.
Nice.
So it was so
and
cool.
it can go in the garden.
Beautiful. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's unbelievable. And
Because
I
that's
wish
not even going to bleach, because it's already white anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's not going to
Yeah.
fade. So
that's
unbelievable.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. My brown one is not going to fade either, is it?
Well,
we have to take
I
care.
would
Put
UV
the
UV
urethane
protected,
thing, yeah. Do we have a picture of the heron? I want to end with the heron, because not only that's a next class for you, but it's unbelievable. So we have one being made right now, because she's coming to Curious Monday in October,
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to carry them. They're 4 feet tall. So there is one almost done here, and I have to tell you, I knew she made the heron. I saw pictures of the heron, not the same as life.
Yeah.
You look at that thing, it's massive.
Yeah.
And it's super gorgeous.
It's not quite
So
finished
there we
yet.
go, we are showing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff you can make with this product. So if this is not exciting, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And I've seen her build, and I can tell you, with the proper instruction, anybody can do this as well. And it's an astonishing piece in any garden.
Yeah,
Right?
the
And you told
herons-
me it's one of your best sellers as
It
well.
is totally one of my best sellers. They're the piece that most people relate to the most, and plus because it's such a big piece, it finds a home in so many different locations as well too. So I've got seniors who have it just outside their kitchen window so that they can look at it.
Oh,
I've got
I
girls.
could look to that all
yeah,
day.
I have. My girlfriend has just a small, condominium garden. She's got it in that. It's out on acreages.
Yeah.
It's out in a courtyard at a hospital. They've got
It
them
goes
as
so
well
much
too.
more,
So, yeah,
so far.
Yeah.
Well, my fairies told me I have the bear to show that your friend did.
Oh, cool.
So let's see that
Awesome.
because that's.
Hey, Sabina,
look at this.
Sabina, your work is really coming around town here. Look at this.
So what's her full name so people can
Sabina
look for her?
Bonifazi.
Sabina. So she's
yeah.
Italian.
No, Swiss.
Woo.
Swiss. She's from Switzerland.
Okay.
And she, like I say, and she is
Amazing.
an acrylic and oil painter and pastels, and she's done a bit of sculpting as well too. And
I think she'll do a lot more sculpting now.
well, it's interesting because she's not quite as old as I am, but she's at that stage where she's wanting to declutter and get rid of things. And there's so many things that interest her, but she's like, no, I can't. But she hasn't done that with this.
That's
so
awesome.
that's kind of exciting.
That's awesome. So Beverly, one last thing, and guys, if you have any final questions, this is the moment. Penny saying this has been such a fun day. Looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be super fun too. So we showed the product. I hope they got inspired. They got inspired by your pieces. I want you to tell them who they should be looking after. Who are the artists that inspires you? Because we all can go online and Pinterest and we'll see a bunch of stuff. But who should they be paying attention to?
Okay.
Of course, number one, Beverly Hollywood.
Thank you.
Right,
Yeah.
and she's on social media.
Okay.
But who else?
There's several. That Ilya Kovacs has amazing work.
Yes.
Shirley Tasker out of the UK.
It's amazing.
Incredible work. Like she just, I'm always mesmerized by her work. But then there's other artisans that aren't even Powerfall artisans that I really respect and admire as well too. We've got a soapstone carver a stone carver in the Edmonton market. His name is Dave Hogg, and I don't get inspiration just from what people have done with Powerful. I get inspiration from what
everywhere.
people have done, period. Gianni Galarno, Cindy, I mean, there's just so many. And that's the really cool thing is in the Edmonton market, I'm part of this wonderful collective, and we're all artisans that work together. And it's amazing to watch us all we're all doing our own thing, but we're all inspiring each other to
and that's the important
expand
part.
Expand our
Because
reaches.
we all create in different ways,
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely.
Bree saying you ladies are so fun to watch. Can't wait for the Heron class. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
going to be
The
so
Heron
awesome.
class seems to have created a bit of a stir.
Yeah. So if you have more questions about the products, write us an email. Always check on mondomarkettv.com. Like I told you, we don't have the whole line. We have some of it. We are working on the rest, but you can get your products there. Look online for groups related to Powerfall. You want to be inspired and you want to see what other people are creating. Looking for the right person also to show you how to make this. But get on this road. That's what we really want to tell you. Experiment, get a bucket if you want, try on your own, go take a course. But get on this road because it is unbelievable. It's such a good quality product. Like she said, is environmentally friendly. It has a special seal.
ACP, American Crafter's Seal of Approval.
Which is very difficult to get, correct?
It's very difficult to get. And what that seal says is that it is safe, that you could even use it in schools with children. And that's what that seal signifies, is that it is safe to use with young children.
Nice.
ACMI, American
And if you're a teacher
ACPI,
yourself, think about this.
ACMI, American Crafters,
You not only will be teaching them how to make small sculptures, you're going to be teaching them how to recycle, how to give value of pieces that already have a story in their life, a piece of toy, something like that. So there are many things that you can do here, and you don't want to miss this opportunity. So go get inspired. When you're ready to get the product, go to mondomarkettv.com and watch for us on other courses as well. Thank you so much, Beverly.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm really impressed that you're still standing. I'm still standing. Okay, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday, same bad time, same bad place. Thank you so much.